So, let me ask you a question we've all thought about. What will you leave behind? For literally thousands of years, we've had answers to that. But the legacy we're all building right now, it's not carved in stone. It's coded in data. With every single click, every post, every message we send. Today, we're going to dive into this new architecture of digital immortality.
It really is a question as old as humanity. But in the world we live in now, the answer isn't just a story passed down or a monument. No, it's this sprawling, kind of permanent digital record of our entire lives. And here's the crazy part. For the first time ever, most of it is being created without us even really thinking about it.
All right, so before we get to the silicon, let's start with the stone. This whole conversation really kicks off with a fundamental human drive, this deep need to be remembered, to leave some kind of mark that echoes through time and just says, hey, I was here. Think about it. Historically, creating a legacy was a very intentional act. It took real effort to chisel your name into something, or to sit for a portrait, or even just to write a letter. You had to carefully choose the pieces of your life you wanted the future to see. It was a totally curated, handcrafted process. Just look at this progression here. We went from stories whispered around a fire, to stone tablets that could last for ages, to the printing press, which blew the doors open for ideas. Each step made a person's legacy bigger and more permanent. But that final leap to digital data? Man, that is something else entirely. It's automatic, it's massive, and for most of us, it's completely unintentional. And that right there is the fundamental shift. Our legacy isn't just what we choose to preserve anymore, it's the grand total of our digital exhaust. Every little Google search, every photo we snap, every late-night text, it all becomes part of this trail we leave behind. So, what is being created from all this data we're constantly leaving behind? Well, it's a concept that is as fascinating as it is, frankly, a little unsettling. The emergence of what you could call the digital ghost. Now, this isn't just some static archive, right? It's not like a shoebox of old photos in the attic. It's a dynamic echo. It's a presence built from the raw material of your digital life, one that's capable of interacting and responding in your style long after you're actually gone. And what are the building blocks for this ghost? Well, it's everything. I mean, the formal language you use in your work emails, the silly inside jokes in your texts, the political rants on social media, the music you stream, the places you go. It is, without a doubt, the most intimate and complete record of a person that has ever existed. And to get a sense of the scale here, just try to wrap your head around this number. 2.5 quintillion. That's a 2 and a 5, followed by 18 zeros. It's an almost unimaginable number. That's the estimated amount of data humanity creates every single day. We are all swimming in this ocean of raw material. And this whole idea, it's not just some theoretical thing anymore. Artists and technologists are already building the very first architectures of memory, turning all this abstract data into something we can actually see and touch and interact with. I absolutely love this quote. It just perfectly captures the ambition, doesn't it? It's not about just collecting all the little crumbs. It's about using them to create something whole, something that feels nourishing and substantial, like a real conversation. So how does this actually work? Well, first, an AI, usually a large language model, just inhales a massive archive, years of texts, emails, you name it. And it doesn't just copy and paste stuff. No, it learns the patterns, the rhythm of how you speak, your favorite phrases, your sense of humor. Then, from all that learning, it starts to generate totally new sentences that just sound authentic. And finally, it creates an interface where you can essentially talk to this data portrait. And what this creates is a really profound shift. We're moving away from a passive legacy, like a diary you just read, to an active one. A diary that can, in a way, read you back and respond. Of course, this technology brings us to the biggest, most profound question of all. When you're interacting with one of these digital ghosts, who or what are you actually talking to? Let's just break it down. An authentic person, well, we experience consciousness, we grow, we change our minds, we forget things. But a digital replica, it just simulates responses based on a data set that's totally fixed in time. It can't grow beyond the data it was fed. It might have perfect recall of every email you ever sent, but it doesn't embody the lived experience behind any of them. And this, right here, this is the philosophical core of the whole thing. When a simulation becomes this convincing, What is that intangible spark? Call it consciousness, a soul, whatever you want, that separates the person from the pattern. What's actually missing from the machine?
You know, this technology just opens up a total minefield of new ethical questions. Could talking to a digital ghost actually help someone with grief? Or would it just trap them in the past? Who gets the final say over your digital self? Your family? Some big corporation? Could your data self be used to endorse products you would have hated? The questions are so complex, and honestly, the answers are nowhere in sight.
But here's the crucial takeaway from all this. This isn't some distant sci-fi future. The foundations are being laid literally right now. And what that means is that we all have a choice and a surprising degree of control in how our own digital legacies get shaped.
Every single time you post something, you're laying another brick in your own digital monument. The question is no longer if you're going to have a digital legacy, but what that legacy is going to be. Are you building a library, a funhouse, or maybe a haunted mansion?
So what can you do? Well, you can start being intentional about it. Actively save the things that are really important to you. Go and look at your privacy settings on different platforms. Who gets to see your data? And probably most important of all, have these conversations with the people in your life about what you'd actually want to happen to your digital self. Because ultimately, we are all the architects of our own digital immortality. The story is ours to write. The only question left is, what story will yours tell?